The ancient roots, Samhain and the Celtic world, where the veil thins and the shadows dance hook. When night fell, the world changed. Imagine a world where the turning of the seasons wasn't just a matter of weather, but a time when reality itself seemed to shift. The last sheaves of grain were bundled in the fields. The days grew short, the nights impossibly long, and a chill crept across the land. On this night, fires flickered on every hilltop, and families gathered close. Because the living were not the only ones abroad. This was Samhain, a night when the boundaries between worlds dissolved and the ancestors came calling. The Celtic calendar and the wheel of the year. To grasp the true meaning of Samhain, we must first step into the world of the Celts. Stretching across Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Brittany, and Gaul, the Celts were not a single nation, but a tapestry of tribes, united by language and a reverence for the rhythms of the earth. Their lives were governed not by clocks or digital calendars, but by what scholars call the wheel of the year, a cycle of seasons, festivals, and cosmic transitions. The year was split into two great halves. The light half, beginning with Beltane, May 1st, marking the rise of warmth, fertility, and abundance. The dark half, ushered in by Samhain, October 31st, November 1st, a descent into cold, darkness, and uncertainty. For the Celts, the dark half was not something to dread, but to respect. It was a time of rest for the land, but also a season of mystery, magic, and the supernatural. Samhain, the liminal festival. If Beltane was a festival of life and fire, Samhain, pronounced Sah-Wain, was its shadowy twin, a festival of endings, beginnings, and the uncanny. It marked the end of the harvest, when the last storehouses were filled and the livestock brought down from the high pastures. Yet Samhain was far more than a harvest festival. It was a liminal time, a crossing of thresholds. The old year died, the new one was not yet born. The world of the living and the world of the dead overlapped. Rules, identities, and even the very laws of nature could be upended for a single night. The Celts believed that the veil between worlds was at its thinnest during Samhain. The spirits of the dead could return, not just to be honored, but to walk among the living. Some were beloved ancestors, welcomed with open arms and a place at the table. Others were mischievous, lost, or hungry for mischief, spirits who needed to be appeased or avoided. Rituals, beliefs, and the thin veil. How did the Celts face such a night? With a mixture of fear, reverence, and celebration, and a host of rituals that would echo down through the centuries. Bonfires on the hilltops. As darkness fell, massive bonfires blazed atop hills and in clearings. These fires were more than just sources of light and warmth. Protection. Fires were believed to ward off evil spirits, purify the land, and offer protection for the coming winter. Community. Whole villages would gather, sharing food, stories, and the comfort of companionship in the face of the unknown. It was common to extinguish the hearth in every home and relight it from the communal bonfire, symbolizing unity and the start of a new year. Costumes and disguises. On Samhain, costumes were not just for fun, they were a matter of survival. People wore animal skins, masks, or ragged cloaks to confuse any spirits that might wish them harm. Sometimes they dressed as the very spirits they feared, hoping to blend in and avoid attention. This ancient tradition is the direct ancestor of our modern Halloween costumes, a playful echo of the Celts, deeper, darker beliefs about the night when nothing was quite what it seemed. Feasts for the living and the dead. Samhain was a time for feasting, but not just for the living. Families would set an extra place at the table, leave food and drink on the doorstep, or light a candle in the window. Invitations for the spirits of loved ones to join the celebration. The dead were honored and remembered, their presence welcomed rather than feared. But not all spirits were kin. Offerings were also meant to appease the wandering dead or supernatural beings, ensuring they would pass by without causing harm or mischief. Divination and prophecy. With reality in flux, Samhain was the prime time for seeking glimpses of the future. The Celts practiced various forms of divination. Apple peels thrown over the shoulder might spell out a true love's initial. Nuts thrown into the fire could foretell the fate of romantic relationships. Dreams and visions on Samhain night were thought to be particularly prophetic. The sense of possibility and uncertainty made the night both thrilling and a little terrifying. The other world, spirits, fairies, and the Aos Sea. Celtic mythology is rich with tales of the other world, a realm of gods, fairies, the Aos Sea, and ancestral spirits. Samhain was the night when the borderlands between the mortal world and the other world grew porous. The Aos Sea, sometimes called the fair folk or good neighbors, these supernatural beings could be helpful, but were often capricious or dangerous. On Samhain, it was best not to attract their attention. Ancestral spirits, honored guests, believed to bring blessings or warnings for the year ahead. Restless dead, souls who had not found peace could roam, seeking resolution or revenge. Legends warned against traveling alone on Samhain night. Doors to fairy mounds and ancient burial sites were said to open, and those who strayed might never return. A night turned upside down, order and chaos. Samhain was not just about fear, it was also about freedom. The normal rules of society were suspended. Servants might play pranks on their masters. Young people roamed the dark, knocking on doors and demanding treats, a practice that would later become trick-or-treating. There was laughter alongside the fear and joy alongside the uncertainty. Samhain was a celebration of life's wild unpredictability, a festival where chaos was not just endured, but embraced. Samhain's legacy, seeds of Halloween. The echoes of Samhain can be heard in nearly every aspect of modern Halloween. Jack-o'-lanterns. Originally carved from turnips or beets, these lanterns were meant to ward off malevolent spirits, a practice that traveled from Celtic lands to America, where pumpkins became the canvas of choice. Trick-or-treating. The ancient tradition of roaming in disguise, demanding food or gifts, evolved into the playful rituals of children seeking candy. Costumes and masks. What began as a defense against spirits is now a joyful celebration of creativity and transformation. Bonfires and parties. The communal fires of old remain in the glow of carved pumpkins, backyard fire pits, and neighborhood gatherings. Why does Samhain still speak to us? In our modern, electric-lit world, the fears of winter and the supernatural may seem distant, yet Samhain's story still resonates. It speaks to something deep within us, a fascination with the unknown, a longing to connect with those who came before, and a need to acknowledge the darkness as well as the light. Halloween's enduring magic is rooted in this ancient festival of Samhain. It is not just a night for scares and sweets, but a living reminder that life is a cycle, that endings are followed by beginnings, and that sometimes the veil between worlds grows thin enough for us to glimpse the extraordinary. Conclusion. When the veil grows thin, as the last leaves fall and the air grows cold, remember the fires that once blazed on Celtic hillsides. Remember the laughter, the fear, the stories told in the flicker of the flames. On Samhain night, the world was turned upside down, and anything seemed possible. So as you carve your pumpkins, don your costume, or light a candle for a loved one this Halloween, remember, you are partaking in an ancient dance, a celebration of life, death, and the mysteries that lie just beyond the reach of daylight. Step into the shadows, and let the magic of Samhain lead you into the heart of Halloween.